Who were the Stoic philosophers? Agasicles, king of the Spartans, once quipped that he wanted to be the student of men whose son I should like to be as well. It is a critical consideration we need to make in our search for role models. Stoicism is no exception. Before we begin our studies, we need to ask ourselves, who are the people that followed these precepts? Who can I point out as an example? Am I proud to look up to this person? Do I want to be more like them? The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, the playwright and political advisor Seneca, and the slave-turned-prominent teacher Epictetus, these are the three Stoics you need to get to know first. Once you do, we're confident you will want to follow in their footsteps. Epictetus, whose name translates to acquired in Greek, lived a remarkable life defined by resilience and philosophical insight. Despite being born into slavery under the ownership of a master named Epictetus, known for his cruelty, even when subjected to physical abuse, such as having his leg twisted, Epictetus maintained his composure, calmly warning his master before the bone snapped. Despite the lifelong limp resulting from the incident, Epictetus refused to let it hinder his spirit, famously declaring, "Lameness is an impediment to the leg, but not to the will." This mindset epitomized his philosophy, which centered on the power of choice and facing life's challenges. To him, life was akin to a theatrical performance, where individuals must play their assigned roles with authenticity and excellence. Although bound by Roman law that restricted slave emancipation until the age of 30, Epictetus eventually gained his freedom after Nero's reign. He devoted himself wholeheartedly to philosophy, teaching in Rome for over 2 decades until Emperor Domitian's decree banished philosophers from the city. Epictetus then established a school in Nicopolis, Greece, where he continued to impart his wisdom until his passing. Seneca. In the turbulent tapestry of ancient Rome, Seneca the Younger emerged from his birth in Corduba, Spain, with an illustrious lineage and an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Under the tutelage of Attalus the Stoic, he eagerly besieged the realms of education, ever the first to arrive and the last to depart. Seneca imbibed the wisdom that philosophy should serve as a daily arsenal for self-betterment, a sentiment echoed by his revered mentor. While his scholarly pursuits endeared him to his teachers, Seneca's father, a skeptic of philosophy's merits, invested in his son's education with political aspirations in mind. Yet, fate intervened with a lung ailment that whisked him away to Egypt for nearly a decade, a period marked by intellectual endeavors and physical convalescence. Returning to Rome amidst the tumult of political upheaval, Seneca navigated the treacherous waters of imperial reigns, from Tiberius to Caligula, with cautious discretion. However, exile on Corsica under Claudius tested his resilience, sparking an era of prolific writing and introspection. A fateful twist of destiny saw him summoned back to Rome by Agrippina, propelling Seneca into the inner sanctum of power as tutor and counselor to her son, the future Emperor Nero. Amidst the whirlwind of courtly affairs, Seneca's influence on Nero proved ephemeral, his efforts overshadowed by the looming specter of Nero's descent into madness. Yet, for Seneca, duty to the Stoic ethos compelled him to persevere, epitomizing the stark contrast between the Stoics and the Epicureans in their approach to politics. Despite the odds, Seneca remained steadfast in his belief in the nobility of service, a testament to the enduring spirit of Stoicism in the face of adversity. Marcus Aurelius. Alone of the emperors, the historian Herodian would write of the man who became known to us as Marcus Aurelius. He gave proof of his learning not by mere words or knowledge of philosophical doctrines, but by his blameless character and tempered way of life. Cassius Dio. In addition to possessing all the other virtues, he ruled better than any others who had ever been in any position of power. Born April 26, 121, nobody would have predicted that Marcus Catilius Severus Annius Verus would one day be emperor of the Roman Empire. The Emperor Hadrian, who would have known young Marcus through his early academic accomplishments, sensing his potential, kept an eye on the boy. His nickname for Marcus, whom he liked to go hunting with, was Verissimus, a play on his name Verus, the truest one. What exactly Hadrian saw in Marcus is unclear. But by Marcus's 17th birthday, Hadrian had begun planning something extraordinary. He was going to make Marcus Aurelius the Emperor of Rome. On February 25, 138, Hadrian adopted a 51-year-old man named Antoninus Pius on the condition that he in turn adopted Marcus Aurelius. Given life expectancy statistics of the time, Hadrian figured this regent and mentor might be at the helm in 5 years. All was well, except Antoninus lived and ruled for 23 years. In 161, as Antoninus died and ended one of the longest reigns, Marcus finally became the emperor of the Roman Empire and ruled for nearly 2 decades until his death in 180. His reign wasn't easy. Wars with the Parthian Empire, the barbarian tribes menacing the empire on the northern border, the rise of Christianity, as well as the plague that left millions dead. The famous historian Edward Gibbon wrote that under Marcus, the last of the 5 good emperors, the Roman Empire was governed by absolute power, under the guidance of wisdom and virtue. The guidance of wisdom and virtue. That's what separates Marcus from the majority of past and present world leaders. Just look at the journal that he left behind, which is now known as his Meditations. The private thoughts of the most powerful man in the world, admonishing himself on how to be more virtuous, more just, more immune to temptation, wiser. And for Marcus, Stoicism provided a framework for dealing with the stresses of daily life as a leader of one of the most powerful empires in human history.